Hey guys, welcome to the weekend reading starting for April 17th, 18th, and 19th of 2020. I am so excited to be here with you tonight, and I'm going to keep this as brief as possible tonight because we are going live at 9 o'clock in order to do the live readings. So definitely be tuning in on Facebook or Instagram, Sheridan Healing on Instagram for the live readings. They're a lot of fun. I pick a card, I let you know what your message is, and it's absolutely wonderful. The other piece is that keep looking to Sheridan Tree Therapies. We are soon going to be unveiling a 5-day challenge to self-forgiveness. And if anybody knows me at all, knows that I am very, very much about working with people who not only want to change their mindset, but also people who want to get really at the root core of why their mindset shift is just not happening for them. So it's really about those people that are like, I've done every self-help book that I can possibly think of, and I'm still in these crappy relationships. I'm still in this crappy job. I'm still struggling to be able to find my voice. I'm still struggling to be able to make connections with people, or I'm still struggling to find my way in this world. And they're people that have actually done the work. They're just really struggling with it still. So, if that's something that you're struggling with, please feel free to reach out. I do a lot of individual work, but if you're still kind of on the fence, I am going to be doing a 5-day challenge so you get to know me a little bit better. You can get to know my program a little bit better and move on from there. All right, so let's get started with this weekend reading because the energy is, it's really about self, okay? It's really about the self this weekend. It's really about who you are and how you are presenting yourself to the world. And when we're not presenting ourselves to the world right, we are not living our truth. We're not living our best life. And when we put ourselves in boxes or put ourselves in these bubbles, we are actually conforming to other people's expectations of what we think the world wants from us. And one of the things that I really like to think about, and I really think about myself, is like the sacred spiral, is that it's just this constant growth and expansion of growth that goes around and around and around in perfection. It's the golden rule, because we're all golden, we're all beautiful and divine. But anyway, the overall card for the week is the full moon in Aquarius. So this really does mean full moon. Full moon is about coming to the end, that you're coming full circle, okay? And showing the world the real you. This is beautiful because so many people have kind of kept themselves in these little cocoons. And you have to think what we're going through right now, not only as a country, but as a world, we're really being asked to go into these little cocoons. But just because you're in that little cocoon doesn't mean that you can't be the real you. And so that's really huge. A lot of couples at this point in time, they're really going through this period of really discovering who their significant other is, like the real significant other, because they're being forced to spend real time together. Families are really discovering like who really are my kids, because you know what, they're spending 24 hours a day 7 days a week with them. Who are we really as a family? And that is huge. That is huge. There is no better time right now than to be doing that healing work, to be doing that connecting work and really understanding who is who and what's what than this time right now. So this is beautiful, okay? Now, we move on to Friday. Friday, forgiveness, okay? And this isn't just talking about forgiveness from the standpoint of forgiving other people. This is about forgiving yourself. And this is about really going into yourself and saying, I'm sorry for these erroneous thoughts that have caused a problem between myself and thoughts and feelings and emotions and behaviors. You know, for me right now, this past week, if anybody knows me, I gave up gluten before the pandemic happened. So I gave up gluten back, I don't know, it must have been mid-February. And I started to see a huge benefit from it. And this past week, I fell off the wagon. And so I've been really working to get back on that wagon. And a huge piece of that is just forgiving myself for getting off the wagon and saying, you know what, you've done it before. You felt great before. Yeah, you're feeling a couple of aches and pains right now. Yes, you're feeling a little puffiness in your face. But you know what? You know for a fact that if you just do what you need to do and you eat the food that you know that you need to eat, you're going to feel better. And that's wonderful. And so self-forgiveness just is something as really as simple as, you know what? You saying to your body, saying to your digestive system, saying to your bones and your joints, this is my stuff now. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And doing some of that breath work through it is huge. Okay? So that's the energy for Friday. Saturday. So when we're really truly owning ourselves and we are forgiving ourselves, that's when we start to step into our own power. And that's what really Saturday is all about. Look at that beautiful card. I love Alana Fairchild. She is absolutely just stunningly amazing. Some of her work. Our Lady of Great Power, the number 24. You know, the card before this, the self-forgiveness card, was the 9 and 6. So when you have the 9 and the 6, you have the 9 is the change. It's the coming of the full circle. Again, full moon. This weekend is really about coming full circle. Don't forget, next week we have a full moon coming up. And the 6 is about love. So the 6 is really about that forgiveness, not just the forgiveness, but it's about the self-love within forgiveness. So really keeping that peace in mind. But the 2 and the 4, the 2 is about partnerships. The 2 is about stability, which gives you, again, another 6, okay? And the 6 is about love. And Our Lady of Great Power, if you're really looking at her, she's got a lot of amazing, stunning sacred geometry going on there. And if you see her, she is holding and caressing in this loving and beautiful way this child that's up against her. And the child that's up against her is not the typical how we would see Mother Mary. The child up against her is actually her own inner child. And her own inner child that she is lovingly accepting and that she is lovingly nurturing. And a huge piece of self-forgiveness, a huge piece of really owning who you are, is owning who you are deep down as your inner child and as the other person that you are either becoming as an adult, or you have become as an adult, or you wish to become as an adult. But sometimes we really need to go down deep and we just need to hold our inner child, especially during this time of insecurity and, some people feeling lost and feeling lonely, is really holding that inner child and saying it's okay. Especially if you've had some of those issues in your past where when you were younger, especially, that it comes up on a regular basis. So this really is something that I think a lot of people are dealing with right now, is people who did not get their needs met, who did not feel loved, who did not feel nurtured, who didn't feel as if their base and their stability were being met as a very small child and toddler and baby. They're having to almost do that piece for themselves right now and hold themselves and comfort themselves and learn how to do that. And for a lot of people that are able to do that, that have struggled with relationship issues, especially more intimate relationship issues and communication in those relationships, the more work that they're doing on those things, they are actually going to come out of this process really being able to connect with other people in a beautiful way that they've never been able to connect before. So this is beautiful. So Sunday. Sunday is awesome. All right. So Sunday is another Alana Fairchild card, and it's out of the Journey of Love deck, and it is God Speak. And it's Sunday, so a lot of people think that Sunday is, if you're Christian, it's the day of God, but Sunday is typically a day of rest, and the numbers on it are 33. So again, you've got a double 3. Typically 3 is good luck and expansion, but 3 is also the entertainer's number. And when you put 33 together, you actually get a 6. So again, we have that other 6. We have that love number. Okay. So this card, this weekend reading is really, and this piece of New Moon in Aquarius is really about how are you loving yourself, okay? And Sunday really brings in that fruition of how do I love myself? How am I loving myself? Am I self-caring? Now, when I talk about self-care, I'm not talking about like, okay, I'm going to light some candles and I'm going to pour myself a bubble bath and sprinkle rose petals across the bubbly water. I'm more talking about like when I talk about self-care, I talk about what feels good to you, okay? And so for some people that is what I just described, but then other people self-care is honestly, like there is nothing that I like better than Ion TV and watching NCIS Los Angeles. LL Cool J is definitely I joke and I say he's my spirit animal. For whatever reason, I've always had a thing for him since, I don't know, the 90s. And there's just something about this group of people and the way that they solve crimes and that just kind of just does it for me. I have no clue. But, on Sundays, a lot of times that is my self-care. And, I can just do other things and I watch a couple episodes and whatnot and I feel really good. That and Outlander on Stars is kind of my thing too. But anyway, going back to God Speaks, this is beautiful because what this is really asking you to do is it's really asking you to finish doing that healing piece. And it's really asking you to listen and be within the light, listening to what is being said to you. It's asking you to listen. And it's asking you to not just listen and one outside the ear, but it's asking you to listen and to allow that healing message to really sink in, to sink into your bloodstream, to sink into every piece of you. And that's beautiful because that's how we hear it. And when we talk about God Speaks, it's more about the divine because it's, it's God, it's Allah, it's, mother, whatever you believe, whatever your thought process is, whatever your belief system is. I mean, I say God because it's easier, but it is whatever is in here that you connect with above. And that's all you need to know. So when I say that, I'm really talking from that place of just listen. And for some people, that's really going to be getting out into nature And it's just about listening to the rustle of the wind, listening to the birds chirping, the babbling brook. Some people, it might be just the gentle lapping of waves or the crash of the waves. Whatever it is that does it for you, but just getting outside at some point in time on Sunday and having that healing life force energy, feeling the sunshine come down upon you, warming your entire body and providing you with that healing touch. That's what you need. But anyway, that's about all I have for today. I wish you all the best. Please, check me out on Sheridan Tree Therapies if you're looking for some coaching, and especially if you've really worked through some of that mindset stuff and you're just like, I don't understand. I'm here to help you. Much love and peace out.